Hi again, welcome back. This is actually the second time I've filmed this. The first time I wasn't happy with it at all because I actually used cardstock instead of printer paper. Now you may not think that makes much of a difference, but it does, because these can actually be made any size. I mean, these are just so cute, aren't they? For junk journaling, got a little hook on. But they are very small. You can make them smaller than this. You can make them as large as you want. But can I just say that the smaller the project, the thinner the paper. It was a bit of a nightmare making the others with cardstock, and everything just went completely wrong. So anyway, this is just a tiny little envelope album. You just make 4 tiny envelopes like that and just stick them together, and they're just so cute, aren't they? I mean, I don't do any junk journaling, but this kind of style, the vintage style, is very popular. You don't have to use pattern paper. I've printed a couple of sheets of vintage paper off. You don't have to do that. You can just practice with printer paper or a sheet of note paper, anything you like, just to practice. You don't have to have this little loop, but you can. I mean, you could just use wool or anything if you wanted, but I'll show you how to do that as well. So I've printed off 2 really nice sheets of paper. The size you need for this, all your envelopes have to start off as a square, so that's going to be 3 by 3 inches. You can do them 2 by 2, and I have seen them done 2 by 2, but it looks a bit too fiddly for me because I'm not used to making them. So I'm going to cut some of these down to 3 by 3 and we'll start. Okay, I'm back. So you have your 3 by 3 pieces of paper. I shall show you how to make one, and then I'll speed it up. You do need some glue. I'm going to use I don't know how to pronounce it, collal glue. It's actually from this. It's really good, and the reason I'm using this is because it takes longer to dry, but you don't get that wrinkling when you put it on paper, which makes it look really bad. So I forgot to get out my pencil. You also need a pencil and a ruler, because you've got to find the centre of all of these. So to find the centre point, you go from corner to corner. Just put a line somewhere down the middle, just a faint line. You can always erase it later. And that corner to corner that side, and a crisscross line, and that where it meets in the centre, that's the centre of your paper. So now what you have to do, 3 corners have to be folded in right to that very centre, just as accurately as you can. Then so you fold one corner, go to the opposite side, fold in another one. And then you have to decide what's going to be the top or the bottom. I think that's going to be the top, so that one will be folded in next. Then for the bottom, you close in these 2 corners, and you take the bottom corner and you fold it up to the top of the line, but make sure you get it in the centre. You're going to know whether it's centred or not by these 2 parts here, because they'll be equal, or as equal as possible. Okay, I am going to use my bone folder just to get this creased down. You just use whatever flat thing you have handy. Now, the bottom flap has to be turned over just a little bit. And it's going to look like that. There's your little envelope shape, taking shape already. Now, this next step is completely optional. This just removes some bulk from the envelopes. You don't necessarily have to do it with the thin paper, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. So you open it out, And these two triangles at the bottom, you can just get rid of those. Try and cut as straight as I can, not my strong point. Oops. Just ignore that, you didn't see it. And again, oh, by the way, be careful because it's very thin paper. Right. Went a little bit better, and you can also take this part off if you like. It just cuts, like I said, it just cuts down on the bulk a bit. Make sure you cut it straight. I'm sure I won't. Right, so that's how it's going to be. So the piece that I've torn there, which you didn't see, is actually going to be covered up. So you can take your glue, and do not put any glue on that centre part there. Put it down here, down the side. It's going to come out. Just a thin strip down the two edges at either side. And just glue it, squish it down so. Now, like I say, this glue does not dry very fast, although it will stop your paper, should stop your paper from going all lumpy and horrible. So I shall leave that to dry a little bit. Right, if you want, you can round the corners of these, but there's no need to do it because most of them are going to be tucked in anyway. You can always leave it to the end and see which one's sticking out and then do it then. So that's how easy it is anyway to make your little envelopes. So I'm going to do the rest and I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch me do them all again. That done. It was a bit hair raising because I was terrified things were going to tear. If you have an eraser now, you can erase all the pencil bits that you can see. I'm not going to bother doing that. What I am going to do is something you don't have to do. This is absolutely completely optional. But the paper's quite vintage, but inside it's quite light. So I'm just going to get some distress ink. I'm not sure which one yet. Old paper, that sounds appropriate. Get some of this and see if this works. Just to these are distress inks. This is just a mini pack that I got from Amazon. Now I'm going to use the vintage photo to distress all of the, like I say, most of these are going to be covered up anyway, but I just like to do it. Just gives it a bit more of a distressed antique look, just inking around the edges. I should have done these actually before I glued it, but never mind, it'll still look okay. Okay, they all look fairly distressed now. Now the thing to do now is to figure out which one you want on the front. I quite like that. It's got a bit of colour in. So the one that's going to be on the front is the one that's going to be last. Let's move that out of the way. So what's going to happen is that they're all going to have to be glued and inserted into each other like that. This is the tricky part. This is the part I kept getting wrong when I made the last video. So I'll see if I can get it right this time. It'll be some kind of miracle if I do, but we can always try. So just glue the back of the flap, not too near the edge because we don't want it squishing out inside. Right, so get it in as accurately as you can and then close it and see if you can get them straight and flush with each other. That's the mistake I made because with cardstock you can't really get them flush, they just sort of go all jaggedy, if that's the right word. Unflush. Right. Now next we have this part which is going to go into that one. Just making sure. Yep. Okay. Once again, keep away from the very edges. Okay, once again, before it dries, get it as flush as you can with the other envelopes. It's really important that you do that or it just won't look right at all. I'll see if I can dig out a photo of my last effort because I think I threw it away. Right, this takes a while to dry, so I'm just going to have to be very careful. Now, that part is going to go into there. But you see that? That makes the front. So, do that away from the edge. She says, putting it right next to the edge. Now, again. Ooh. You see that went a bit iffy there. So, see, I haven't done it quite right there. There's a little bit come out. But never mind, it gives you an idea. So I just have to wait for that to dry. And like I say, this glue does take a while. So while that's drying, this is going to go over there. Cover that horrible bit there. But what I'm going to do, where's my twine, is take a bit of twine. Now the loop is going to have to go to the left of it because when we turn it round it'll be at the top, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to take it off however long I want it to be for now. We can always cut it down later. Better to have it too long than too short. So I'm going to put that there. Yeah, that should be okay there. So put some glue there. I should have used my other glue for this bit. And then glue all over there. Probably need a good bit on. And then bring that over. Oops. And just hope that it dries nicely. Normally, if I'd done it right, this flap would have been a lot bigger and it would have covered that part up, but never mind, it's still going to get the same effect. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry, and once it's dry I shall be back. Right, so I think it's dry-ish, so you can just cut that down to whatever size you want it to be. So if you turn it over there, all fuzzy bits sticking out, get rid of those. So there you've got a little, you could even use if you use 2-inch squares instead of 3, you will end up with this really tiny envelope album, which is so cute. And you can maybe even use it as a key ring. But I know people do use these for junk journaling, and this vintage style is very popular. So that's, whoops, that's basically it. Why did that do that? I'll put that one away and I'll show you this one instead. You didn't see that. Right, so this is the one I made earlier. You know, isn't it so typical? I made one off camera and it turned out perfectly. The 2 I did on camera have been disasters, but I am not filming it again. I refuse. Right, so if you want to, you can decorate these how you like. I do actually have some vintage stamps ready to be printed off. I should have done that before, and it would have looked nice on the front, I think. But just a little bit of printing. You've got your little pockets there. You've got 2 little pockets in the middle just to put bits of ephemera, whatever you want in. They're really cute. And another bit of printing on there. But you can, like I say, you can decorate these how you like. And this one turned out much better, of course. But they are so, so cute. So I think I'm going to make some of these, not like that, but like this, and sell them, I don't know, 40p each or 3 for £1 or something like that, just on my website. I'm not telling you what to charge. I think that's just what I'm going to charge, but you can just charge what you like, obviously. But people do love junk journaling. It's not something I've ever really been into, but I do love the vintage look. So I might make some more junk journal ephemera projects because people do seem to like them. But anyway, regardless of the, again, disastrous, well, not completely disastrous, but not quite right, finished project, I really appreciate you staying with me to the end anyway. And excuse all this mess. I did actually forget to change the sheet before I started, and I've just been cleaning the sponge that I was using for the inking. But thank you for sticking with me anyway to the end. I really, really appreciate it. And I would also appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, comment and share. All of these really help the channel, because at the moment this channel is so new and it's hardly getting any subscribes or likes. But I mean, it would be nice if I did, but I'm really enjoying doing the videos anyway, regardless of that. But I would absolutely love it and be so grateful for any channel support at all, no matter what form it takes. So thank you once again for bearing with me and for watching to the end. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye bye now.